Alright, hey Middle Isle team, and today I'm doing the guide documentation for our modular environment asset pipeline. So we're starting out with a fresh scene in Unity. Just gonna add a new project. No, not add. I'm just gonna make a new project. And we're not gonna deal with HDRP today. Just gonna do regular 3D scene. I'm gonna call it guide documentation. And just let Unity create that for me. Awesome. Everything's looking good. We've got our main camera, our directional light, our scene view, our game view. So, first things first, I'm going to add a couple of plugins. Or, I guess, packages. So I'm going to open the package manager. And the package manager always takes a little bit to load. You just got to let it do its thing. There we go. And first thing is I need to say show preview packages. The packages we're using are still in previews. And I'm going to search for ProGrids. This is the most important one. It's basically the tool that lets us snap all of our assets to a grid. So I'm going to install that, and it'll install ProBuilder along with it. And you can see pretty much immediately I've got this new tool along the side, and I've got this grid down here. Now the other package that I want is the FBX exporter. Install that, and this is what will help us bridge to Maya. Now once you've installed this, I don't want you to open Maya yet. Autodesk Maya, you need Maya 2020. I don't want you to open it yet. I want you to keep it closed until after you install that. And then once you do open Maya, you'll find that in File, you've got this Unity button right here with these options. But we're not taking care of that yet. Now we want to actually go to the asset store, and I'll just dock that up there. No. I'll open it up. And in the asset store, we want to search for snaps. Unity has these prefab sets of modular assets available for use with ProGrids on the asset store for free. And we're going to use the Snaps Prototype Sci-Fi Industrial Pack. It's what I've been testing with. I find that it's pretty good. And that it acts as a good baseline for us making our own modular environment pieces. So I'm going to import that. It's shorter for me because I've already got it downloaded, but it'll be a little bit longer for you because you need to download it. But then I'm just going to hit import. And it's going to bring this up. Not using the latest version. Yeah, we can download the latest version of ProGrids, even though I think we are actually using the latest version. Boom. Okay. So we can minimize that, and then we can open up our project, and we can see that we've got this whole asset store original Snaps prototyping assets, Sci-Fi Industrial, and we've got all of these prefabs all nested in folders. and we can grab them and move them to our grid. We can hit this button to snap it directly to the grid, and then you can see, oh, you also got to turn it on. Then you can see that it snaps perfectly to this grid we've got. Moves along the X and Y and Z. And if I then, say, decide to add a floor, again, snap it to the grid, then it pretty much works perfectly first right out of the box. I can duplicate, move it over here, move it over here, select them all, move them over here. You can see I can really quickly start to build up a really good gray boxing set. But that's not what we're here for today. That's useful, it's definitely useful for game design, but what we're here for today is actually getting our own assets in and getting them to work with the ProGrid's tool set, so that we can really quickly build assets and get them in the game and get them all working to get well together with each other. So next what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this wall down here, and I'm going to say convert to FBX prefab variant. This option will only pop up if you've got that FBX exporter installed. And it'll give me these options. I don't need to change any of these for now. It'll basically convert this prefab to an FBX. And yeah, it'll give me this warning, but it's okay because this isn't actually in the hierarchy. This is in the project window. So it's not actually implemented in this particular file. Isn't actually implemented in the game. There's just versions of it in the game. So I got that. And you won't see anything here. Instead, you've got to go to top of the assets, and you've got this court wall prefab and this import, and it's got the FBX in it. So then what do? Well, you're gonna go into Maya, and the first thing that we need to do in Maya actually doesn't have anything to do with Unity, but it's really important. We're gonna go settings, preferences. We're gonna go to settings, and we're gonna change our linear working units to meter, because Unity is meter based. So it's gonna make everything 100 times bigger. It's fine. You just zoom out. Now you make a cube, and it's a meter wide instead of a centimeter wide. It's great. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to Unity, say import, and by default it's gonna give me whatever project I was working on last, so I can just navigate to GitHub. I can grab our guide documentation, assets, and there's my court wall FBX. So I say open that, and there it is. Can get rid of that cube. Here it is. You can see its pivot is right on the center, and it is oriented like so, and it's sized like so. And this is all really important because we're going to need to orient and size things appropriately if they're going to work within ProGrids. So the first thing I'm going to do as a test is I'm just going to say model on top of this a little bit. Say I grab this and I extrude it in, and then I extrude it out, and then I extrude it in, and then I extrude it back, right? Like, you know, it's really simple poly modeling. Looks like ass, you gotta go soften harden edges. It still looks like ass. I don't really know what that is about. Delete history. Soften harden edges. Damn it. Let's try instead deleting the whole thing, starting over. sometimes the FBX prefabs can be a little bit particular. You know, a little bit annoying. But we can do the same thing, right? Go down there, and then let's just grab these edges. Bam, there we go. Now it doesn't, now it looks nice. Well, it looks alright. Oh yeah, because I'm grabbing these different, it's got, it's naturally got 2 different materials on it, which is useful in Unity because those actually correspond to different material sets that you put on the object. But yeah, so then I can say delete by type history. I never transformed it, but it's still there. So I can grab this, I can go back to Unity, and I can say export model only, and it'll just export it right there. So I'm back in Unity, and look at that, it's right there. So I can grab this, and it's the prefab variant. It automatically makes this for it, complete with collider, complete with the snaps texture still on board. Can drag it in, snap it to the grid, and you can see that it works exactly the same. It'll tile up with the rest of our stuff, and it's just got our model on it. So that is basically the gist of how we're getting our assets in. But I want to go over one more thing, which is how we get our own models in. So let me do a floor. I'm going to go to, because the floor is going to be super easy. I'm still going to export the floor because it'll be useful to really see exactly what the units are and what the size is. Also, you can see the collider on it. Same. It's great. You can edit the collider too if you want. Like if I wanted the collider out here, I could just grab it, and I think that's on the z-axis. I could say maybe 3.5. No, that's on the x-axis. I could say maybe 1.5. Oh, that's too bar. Anyway, floor is gonna be good because we can see exactly what the sizes are that we want. So there we go. We got our deck ceiling, or it's a ceiling. It's a ceiling and a floor. It's the same. Back into Maya. I can say import from Unity, grab the deck ceiling and open it up. It's got some gross shit on it, but we don't really care about that. What we care about is here, you can leave. What we care about is all of its dimensions and its pivot point. So let me just make a new cube instead. And let me move its pivot to right here. Right? And then we're just going to make it exactly the same dimensions, although not the same geometry, as our floor. Just like that. We can actually hide that, and now we've just got this floor. For good measure, let's UV it. So we got the face right there. We don't need these. Here, I've got my UV toolkit over here. There we go. So let's say cut. Move those over there. Say we're just making a floor. So I'm gonna like scale these way down. Toss them over there. And then we just want the, no, not like that. There we go. Oh, I'm gonna have to fix that. We just want the floor to be the entirety of the UV. So grab that over there. Use these. I'll say unfold those. And I'll put them over there. It's fine. Anyway, so now we've just got one big UV floor. Just like that. It'll be good for tiling textures. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this. I'm going to say delete by type history. I'm going to freeze our transformations. I'm going to unhide this. Make sure that our pivot point is exactly the same. So it's on the bottom corner. So I'm going to grab our pivot point. Put it right there. And then we've got our new tile that, oh, it's because I moved the pivot point. Yeah. Freeze transformations. There we go. Got our new tile. And I'm going to call it floor test 1. Enter. And then so I'm going to say Unity, export model only, and it'll give me this new export window. So once again, we're going to say floor test 1, and then we're going to say create, set, and export. And now if I come back in here, there it is. So I can grab it just the same as everything, place it in here, snap it to the grid, and move it around. And it's exactly the same as our other floor. But it's got my geometry on it with my UVs on it, so I know exactly how it works. It doesn't tile quite as well. There's that little bit of artifacting. We'll figure that out in post. It'll be fun. So there you have it. That's exactly what basically the entirety of our modular asset pipeline is going to be. We're going to be using the snaps as a baseline to build our own environment assets. And then we'll be UVing and texturing them ourselves. We'll be using stuff like Substance Designer textures to really get like some high fidelity stuff with HDRP. It'll look really great. I hope this was helpful. It was definitely helpful for me to kind of lay it all down for you like that. And I hope you can follow along with these steps and start making your own. I very nearly forgot about collisions. This doesn't naturally have collisions on it. So I need to add just call it a box collider, and it'll automatically do that. Or what I could do is I could remove the component, and I could add a mesh collider. And for that mesh, I could grab the mesh from our other object. Bam. There we go. It's going to be super, super useful when it comes to especially more advanced meshes that we want more advanced colliders on. There. Almost forgot about that. Didn't forget about that. Hope this was helpful. Hope you enjoyed it. And I hope to see your own assets in our scenes really soon.